Okay, so uh, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for confirming. Hare Krishna. So let's start with the Srimad Bhagavatam class today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Today's sloka is Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.1, Canto 2, Chapter 2, first sloka 1. श्रीशुक उवाच एवं पुरा धारण्यात्मा योनिर्नष्टं स्मृतिं प्रत्यवरुध्य तुष्टात् तथा ससर् ससर्जेदम् अमोघदृष्टिर् यथाप्ययात् प्राग् व्यवसायबुद्धिः. श्रीशुक उवाच एवं पुरा धरण्यात्मयोनिर्नष्टां स्मृतिं प्रतिवरुध्य तुष्टात् तथा ससर्जेदम् अमोघदृष्टिर् यथा अप्ययात् प्राग व्यवसाय बुद्धि. Word by word meaning. Sri Suk Uvacha. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, Evam, just in the same way, Pura, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Dharanya, by such conception, Atma Yonihi, of Brahmaji, Nashtam, lost, Smritim, remembrance, Pratyavardu, Pratyavarudhya, by regaining consciousness, Tushtat, because of appeasing the Lord, Tatha, thereafter, Sasarja created Idam, this material world, Amog Drishti, one who has attained clear vision, Yatha, as Apayat created Prak, as formerly, Vyavsaya ascertained, Buddhi, intelligence. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, formerly, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Lord Brahma, by meditating upon the Virat Rupa, regained his lost consciousness by appeasing the Lord. Thus, he was able to rebuild the creation as it was before. Purport. The example cited herein of Sri Brahmaji is one of forgetfulness. Brahmaji is the incarnation of one of the mundane attributes of the Lord. Being the incarnation of the passion mode of material nature, he is empowered by the Lord to generate the beautiful material manifestation. Yet, due to his being one of the numerous living entities, he is apt to forget the art of his creative energy. Thus, this forgetfulness of the living being, beginning from Brahma down to the lowest insignificant ant, is a tendency which can be counteracted by meditation on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. This chance is available in the human form of life. And if a human being follows the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam and begins to meditate upon the Virat Rupa, then revival of his pure consciousness and counteraction of the tendency to forget his eternal relationship with the Lord can follow simultaneously. And as soon as this forgetfulness is removed, the Vyavsaya Buddhi, as mentioned here and in the Bhagavad Gita 2.41, follows at once. The ascertained knowledge of the living being leads to loving service to the Lord, which is living being requires. The kingdom of God is unlimited. Therefore, number of assisting hands of the Lord is also unlimited. The Bhagavad Gita 13.14 asserts that Lord has his hands, legs, eyes and mouths in every nook and corner of his creation. This means that the expansions of differentiated parts and parcels called jivas or living entities are assisting hands of the Lord, and all of them are meant for rendering a particular pattern of service to the Lord. The conditioned soul, even in the position of Brahma, forgets this by influence of illusory material energy generated out of false egoism. One can counteract such false egoism by invoking God consciousness. Liberation means getting out of the slumber of forgetfulness and becoming situated in real loving service of the Lord. As exemplified in the case of Brahma, the service of Brahma is the sample service in liberation, distinguished from so called altruistic services full of mistakes and thoughtfulness. Liberation is never inaction, but service without human mistakes. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुत्पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहिगण श्रीरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहिगण श्रीललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वसादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so I have a PPT which I prepared for today's class. Okay, so in today's class, this sloka, we will learn about the forgetfulness nature of the soul. So, as we have learned in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, that the forgetful nature of the living entity, starting from Brahma to the insignificant entity ant, this this is there. So, and we will learn how to regain or awaken this dormant Krishna consciousness through the example of Lord Brahma. And at the end, we will see how we can apply the teachings of six Goswamis, which was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to six Goswamis and to help reawaken our forgetful nature. So Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.1. Okay, before we dive in here, let me quickly give the context. Where are we in this Srimad Bhagavatam? This is Canto 2, Chapter 2, Sloka number 1. This canto is and Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavatam, Sukdev Goswami is explaining this Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is making all the inquiries, and in this particular canto is about the creation and manifestation of the uh, complete complete manifestation of the creation, which was done by Brahma, uh, by the guidance or the light, by under the guidance of Krishna, uh, the what you call that empowerment came from Krishna to Brahmaji, and then with that empowerment, Brahmaji started doing this creation. So in this sloka, we have learned in the sloka that Brahmaji forgot to create. So let's understand the background. So who is Brahma? Brahma, as we learned, is the one who has been empowered by Lord Krishna to create the manifestation or the creation to create this universe. So Brahma is the creator of the universe, but it is empowered by Krishna. And what service he is executing? He is executing the service of creation of beautiful material manifestation, again empowered by Krishna. But what in during this process, what was the okay? This uh, circle has been actually crisis comes first and then regain connection. So what crisis he started facing, as we saw in the sloka, he forgot how to create. As soon as he came into being through the lotus stem of Vishnu, he couldn't understand who am I, what I'm doing here. So he forgot everything. He forgot that he has been sent by Krishna. He has been empowered by Krishna to create this beautiful world. And in that forgetfulness, he was searching within the lotus stem to figure out what to do. And but then he couldn't able to identify anything. At that point of time, what he got in his heart, he got the message from Krishna that tapaha. That is where he started doing the tapasya. So the crisis what he was facing is he forgot how to create. That is the forgetfulness nature of living entity. So Brahma is also one of the living entity. He is born and he will his lifespan is 100 years. So he even though he is Brahma, but he is also a living entity, and he is also bound by the uh, material nature, that is birth and death, and uh, all these things which apply to living entities applies to him. That's why he forgot what uh, he forgot what he was empowered to do, that is creation of the uh, material manifestation, material universe. And then how he regained that connection, how he because this and why he forgot, because the connection to the source, that Krishna, was missing. So when he started doing tapasya, he regained that connection. And we have seen he regained that connection by meditating upon the Virat Rupa of the Supreme Lord. So what he did, he established that connection with the Supreme Lord, and by establishing that connection, he regained that connection. He regained the consciousness, and he started executing the service. And the service which is given to him is to create the material world. So okay, so in this complete background, what are the three key observations we see here from the Brahma's story? There are three key observations. First is problem, the forgetful nature of the living entity. And the second key observation, what we observed here, is the diagnosis, that is lost connection with Krishna. And then third is solution, that is reawakening the Krishna consciousness. Now we'll deep dive on these three key observations uh, from the life of Brahma, from the story of Brahma, and then we will relate it with our life, how we face these problems in our regular life, and how we need to deal with it. Okay. Next slide. Well, so the first observation was problem, that is forgetful nature of the living entity. So Brahma actually represents the mode of passion, and as we have seen in the purport provided by Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned Brahma represents the mode of passion, that is Rajoguna. And in Rajoguna, what generally we as living entity, when we are in Rajoguna, what we do, we gets too absorbed in the mode of passion, that is we get absorbed in all these material activities, that is career, projects, family, all these things, whatever you consider. And when we get too much absorbed in this, we forget that whatever we are executing, how it is coming, and that source, we disconnect from that source. And that is why we lose our ability, and we forget why we are here, why we have this existence in this material nature. So the root cause of forgetfulness here is the misuse of the free will. What happens when we come uh, we have got this free will from Krishna, where Krishna doesn't interfere. So what we do, we utilizing this free will, we desire to become like Krishna, enjoy like Krishna. And because of that desire, Krishna allows us to do whatever we want, and that's why we come into this material nature to do that independently, and then we start suffering. So this forgetfulness nature of living entity is it's because of its own nature of trying to enjoy apart from Krishna. So this is how we are missing the connection from Krishna. So was this connection was always there, and it is the eternal relationship between living entity and Krishna. What we do, we just need to reawaken that that relation. But right now what we do is we are turning away from that connection and trying to find out the happiness at other places. Okay, so this forgetfulness forget as we have seen, this is the root cause, that is misuse of the free will. But then forgetfulness is not accidental, it is orchestrated by divine energies to allow illusion and function. What are these divine energies? That is Paramatma and Maya. So in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Krishna says, I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes the remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So this forgetfulness is sanctioned by Krishna because we want to enjoy apart from him. And then Maya is the illusory energy which creates the illusion for us to enjoy independently uh, without Krishna. And with this illusion, we think we are enjoying, but what we are doing, we were actually suffering. So this uh, illusion, what we see, we get the forgetfulness because of this illusion which is created by Maya and sanctioned by Krishna. So we can see an example here, which is Brahma Vimohan Leela, that is the illusion of separation. Even Brahma, being Brahma, got illusioned. Krishna, when he was playing with his Gopa boys, calves, and everyone in Vrindavan, Brahma and Brahma thought he is not God. He is just playing like a kid with other friends. Krishna was actually eating the remnants of his Gopa friends. So he got illusioned there. He said this cannot be God. Krishna, he is eating the remnants of food remnants of his friends. He cannot be Krishna. So what he did, he has taken all his friends cows calves. He basically kidnapped all of them and taken into his abode, thinking that he will Krishna will surprise, and then he will try to find them. But in actual, what happened, Krishna, those Gopa boys never disappeared. Krishna became everything for them. Krishna actually mm, expanded himself into identical forms, uh, of multiple identical forms of acting as the Gopa boys, cows, and calves. And this continued for 1 year. This continued for 1 year, and nobody was able to identify, okay, that this is that this is Krishna. One thing which happened at that time, when the mothers of these Gopa boys, they used to love Krishna when he used to come back from uh, Gaucharan. So, but now what is started happening? These mothers started loving their own boys because they were none other than Krishna. So Brahma, when he realized there's nothing happened, that time he got out of illusion. Okay, what mistake I have done. Uh, I thought Krishna as a simple living entity, and this is how Brahma got illusioned. Just see, when Brahma, being Brahma, get illusioned, then what can you think about ourselves being living entity? We get illusioned in many ways in our life. We think we are this body. We uh, we don't consider ourselves as soul. We try to feed our body. We try to feed the necessities of the bodies. We try to think about everything what is associated with the bodies, which is associated with the body. But we never think about the soul, which is connected to Krishna, which can, if we understand we are not this body, we are soul, we will start following. Uh, the, what you call, we start feeding the soul. And when we start feeding the soul, we will understand the connection between soul and the super soul, and that's where we will gain the actual connection between Krishna and us. But what we do, we are being illusioned, and in this illusion we are acting as though we are enjoying, but in real we are actually suffering. That enjoyment is very marginal, we like a drop of ocean, but the ocean that ocean which is full of enjoyment, we are missing that. We are just trying to be satisfied with that one drop of ocean, one drop of happiness in the whole ocean of happiness. Okay, so that is the illusion which gets created, and this get illusion gets created uh, by Maya Devi, who is who is empowered by Krishna for this. Okay, so next slide. Okay, diagnosis: lost connection with Krishna. So when we are illusioned, like Brahma got illusion, and like a living entity, everyone can be illusioned, and in this illusion we think ourselves we are enjoying, but we are suffering. Why? Because the connection with Krishna is missing. Just think like a machine which is unplugged from the power source, is trying to work continuously, but facing challenges, because that machine will try to work, but will not be able to work. It might work for 1 minute or 2 minutes until the power source is not there. Then it will slowly turn off, or it will give up. In the similar manner, we living entity also being disconnected from the source of power, which is Krishna. And when we are unplugged from that, we are trying to function, but then we are struggling. You go to uh, you go and talk to richest person in this world, they will also say they are suffering. They won't they There will be some or the other suffering. And you go to the poorest person, they will also say I'm suffering. Suffering is common between both of them. Even the person who has so much of money is suffering, the person who doesn't have money who is suffering. Suffering is not related to this suffering. Happiness is not related to money or anything else which is material. It is related to the connection which is unplugged with Krishna. So if we include Krishna, then the happiness will start. Okay, so just think ourselves as being in this position, and what we diagnose here is the power is missing. So we need to do is to connect ourselves with the power plug, that is Krishna. Okay, so these are the four defects we have in the conditioned soul. That is, first one is committing mistakes, second one is being illusion, third one is cheating propensity, and fourth one is imperfect senses. And we have seen the second one, which is being illusioned. What happens with these four effects, without the connection with the source, we get we get distracted, and when we get distracted, we become atheist. So before I yeah so there is one sloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which says, Krishna bhuli se jiva anadi bahir mukha atev maya tare deya samsara dukha. Forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by the external feature of the time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy Maya gives him all kinds of misery in his material existence. So this is the verse which is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And you can see being illusioned by we think we are enjoying, but we are getting miseries in this material existence by Maya. So with as I said, when we this view through these four defects and the power disconnection from Krishna, what we become? We become atheist. And then different kind of atheists we become. Default atheists who are lazy, indifferent, and doesn't care about anything. There are people who doesn't care whether God is there or not is there. They become lazy. Whatever they want to do, they do. They don't care for anything. Then there are philosophical atheists. They think they replace science with the God. They think everything is science. This happen. This there is some science behind it. Mostly scientists. And they don't want to believe God. And then there are emotional atheists who thinks they gets angry on God. Why I'm suffering? It's because of God. God is not giving me this. That is why I'm suffering. So they becomes envious. They they think everything. They think their miseries is the cause. They think the cause of their miseries is God. But God is not like that. God is sitting in our heart. It's our independence which we are trying to misuse, and Krishna is just sanctioning it because this is your desire and this is your free will where Krishna doesn't interfere. And then there are covered atheists which are Mayavadis, who thinks I am the God. They forget God and then they think like we are the God. And then last one is psychological atheist. This one you will probably connect. Many situations, many of us who are into Krishna consciousness are like this, who dress like devotees, speak like devotees, but and attend kirtan, but internally they are self-absorbed. So the plug which is connected to Krishna is missing. We are trying to be like devotees, act like devotees, but we are not plugging ourselves with Krishna. That is called psychological atheist. So when we are not plugging ourselves with Krishna and with these four defects which we have, and the illusory energy uh, targeting us with all miseries, we become like this. And we can be in any one of these categories. So what's the solution? Solution is to reawaken the Krishna consciousness. Brahma's path was to meditate upon Krishna, that is Virat Rupa, to regain the lost connection. But that is not possible for us. We are in this Kali Yuga. This we are in this we are part of this creation which was created by Brahma. We can't sit at one place. We can't do this tapasya because for us it is not possible because we have unsteady minds. We have short lifespan. You think you will in this short lifespan you'll be able to do proper focus uh, in the Virat Rupa, and you will be able to do. It is not possible in this, especially in this Kali Yuga. Nowadays there are many different type of meditators present. Some say do yoga, some say focus on any particular object. Let's focus on the tree. We will be able to perform meditation. Different kind of meditation process has started, but that's not the real process which is recommended as per Shastras for living entities in Kali Yuga. So, what is there for living entities in Kali Yuga to reawaken our Krishna consciousness? That is following four regulative principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. And then observing Ekadasi fast, chanting the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Harinam Sankirtan, and then association of devotees. This is the tapasya for the living entity in this one. uh, in addition, we what is important for us in Kali Yuga is control the tongue. We need to chant and eat prasadam. If we are able to control the tongue, we will be able to control all the senses, and we will be able to meditate in today's world. We hear in the morning prayer where Cheto Darpan Marjanam. What does it says? We need to clean the heart. We need to clean the heart. Then only we'll be able to reawaken that dormant love with Krishna, which is already there. Of course, we just need to clean it, and we need to regain that consciousness. Okay, there are a few examples which I'll take. I know it's 6:40. I'll just quickly finish in 5 minutes. So, seeing the creator in creation. There is a famous example which Srila Prabhupada gives. There's a famous example which is given by different devotees. When Srila Prabhupada, when he used to watch a beautiful flower, he doesn't used to watch this flower or just the biology. What he used to watch there, the handiwork and the artistry of Krishna, how beautifully Krishna has created this beautiful flower. And there is another example, uh, that is when we see a air hostess, so beautiful air hostess, instead of seeing the beautiful girl, we can imagine how beautiful Krishna would be when Krishna created such a beautiful create uh, creation. When the creation is such beautiful, how much beautiful our Krishna will be. That's how we can connect ourselves with Krishna. This is a practical application of the meditation. Um, this is how we can actually plug in Krishna with this. With the process, right? Because this plug and we have unplugged. Now how we can plug in our regular life? Whatever we see, we can connect to Krishna. Whatever we do, we can connect to Krishna. If we are connecting to Krishna, that plug, we are connecting to the electricity, and then we will gain the power. And then with that power, we'll be able to regain our Krishna consciousness. So let's see five specific keys, which are key points which are given by Lord Chaitanya to six Goswamis to unforget ourselves. First one is Tattva. That is, we must study the books, Shastra, and why we need to do this? To establish the truth of who we are and who Krishna is. Without philosophy, sentimentally cannot last. Even we just if we try to follow the sentiment, it will not last much until unless we understand the philosophy and understand the what or why behind it. See, when we go to school, we ask questions, we make the inquiries to teacher why 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, right? Why 2 multiply by 2 is equal to 4? We ask these inquiries. We just blindly believe, okay, 2 plus 2 equal to 4, 2 multiply by 2 equal to 4. When we inquire, we get to know the facts. In the similar manner, when we read Shastras, we identify, okay, this is the reason which why we need to follow a particular path for regaining our Krishna consciousness. Next key is Sadachar, that is the ideal behavior. Action is, it is not enough to know the truth, we must behave the truth. That is humility, kindness, and etiquette. Your behavior attracts grace of Vaishnavas. So just by knowing the philosophy, if we are not acting on it, like Jagai Madai, they were doing opposite, right? If we are not following it, then it is not a, then it is of waste, right? So we need to follow the process. And once we start following this process, we get grace of the Vaishnavas. We get to meet the spiritual master, and then spiritual master guides us to the right path and takes us back to Krishna, back home, back to Godhead. Then next is service. So establish temples and serve in them. Temples are embassies of the spiritual world. This is an example of service. Service mode is very important. So there's a Muslim boy in Paris who saw a picture of Govinda and then visited the temple. And one more visited. So basically, that this Muslim boy, he saw a picture of Govinda. Then he remembered when he was in he was when he was in Jaipur. He visited Krishna temple and then saw that deity. And then when he went back to Paris, he saw the temple there, and then connected himself with the temple, and then continued the seva. So that was the example given by Maharaja in one of the lecture which I was hearing. Next is Tirtha, holy places. We must visit Vrindavan, Mayapur, and different holy places. That will help us uh, connect to the pastimes of the Krishna or Lord performed in this world, where we can visit, uh, lively visit how it happened and all. And last is Vairagya, renunciation, letting go. Learn to let go the material world, specifically let go the grudges. We generally hold on to negativity, but what we need to do is to let go everything. The closing thought there is, the goal of life is not to remember the bad things people did to us, but remember the beautiful things Krishna does for us. Like identifying the creator behind the creation. Okay, so with this, we will end with this acronym for all of us to remember. That is reset. Realize the truth. E is for exemplary behavior. S is for serve in temples or do the seva. E is enter holy places. T is throw away grudges. Remember, Krishna is the sun. Maya is the darkness. Where there is Krishna, there is no darkness. So we need to plug in our connection with Krishna to regain the consciousness, Krishna consciousness, which is sitting dormant in our heart because we have forgotten the connection of Krishna, and we have chosen to being independent away from Krishna. But with this process, with this reset process, we'll be able to turn towards Krishna, and then Krishna will do the needful for us. He will take 10 steps towards us to bring us back to his abode. Hare Krishna. Thank you.